Nike minus 11% yesterday, completely insane. What's happening right now after the US tariffs? Remember to disclaimer right here in the video description below. As I mentioned in the other video right here in red Lauren, we're talking about like the impact of the US tariffs in clothing that is gonna be huge. In the case of Nike, we are gonna have like a completely huge impact because a major hub with over 100 factories just in Vietnam produces Nike clothing. So imagine adding a 46% tariff to that. They're gonna be forced in the US to increase prices, and probably this could be like a huge impact not only in the US but also in the rest of the countries, because the company can make a decision like, okay, we're gonna have to face this difficult situation by raising not only prices in the US to compensate for that, but also in many countries, and that could be huge, because right now the sales weren't like huge, and we're talking about like net income. Look at that, nearly 800 million. But in the past, we had net incomes in one quarter 1.8, 1.45, 1.57. So then you add this US tariff, and it's gonna be huge because obviously, if you increase the price too much, according to the purchasing power of of all humanity in essence, it's gonna be difficult to make new highs in terms of net income. But quite the contrary, you're gonna sell even less. So probably actually the impact, it could be huge. We could be talking about like even negative net income. And it could happen in the next 4 quarters. So 2025 is gonna be completely ruined unless they get an exception, like a grace period to move the factories to the US, entirely for those pieces of clothing that should be sold in the US. So that's a difficult situation for the company in the short term. It's gonna be huge. The impact is gonna be huge in the short term because this is like a trade war, and trade wars, and they don't usually end well. I think in that sense, it's like the perspective of having a US tariff and things in essence should be good, for US for the US, because obviously it's gonna create more more jobs in that sense, because obviously if many companies move to the US, then we're talking about factories, and they're gonna create a lot of jobs, and that's good in essence. But the problem is like we have to face like a couple of years. They're gonna be difficult, especially right now. The first 12 months are gonna be very, very difficult because you have to face they don't have grace period right now. So all the production right now is in Vietnam, China, Indonesia. So they kind of moved that just from one day to another, so there's gonna be an impact, in the short term. Maybe not just in the first month or two, but definitely in the next quarters you're gonna see the net income, how it evolves, and it's not gonna evolve well, in that sense. You're gonna see probably negative numbers, and when we see negative numbers, we had to go to Nike to the quarters that they were making negative numbers. At that time, the last time it happened, it was in May 2020. And in May 2020, the price action of the stock, it was around $86. Yeah, actually, it's completely insane because I think it's oversold if you think about it. Because look at that, it's like we had here the negative net income of 800 million. Here we have another one of minus 900 million. And then we have right here positive number, and it's trading around those numbers. So in essence, it's a little bit oversold, but this situation is gonna create like an impact that is gonna be even more difficult for the brand, But for the long term, you could find a good opportunity when all this passes, when we have the net income reestablished again. We're gonna have an impact right here, and it's probably the price action is gonna be reflected as well. But after all that, if everything goes back to normal, I think we could have like one of the greatest opportunities with Nike, because we are talking about that is trading in 2015 levels, which is insane. You think about it, and the rally that we experienced between March 2020 till November 2021. It was nothing less than 200%. I mean, that's huge, And the market cap is right now 86 billion. So it could have a little bit more, but obviously the opportunity is right there, They have competition, yeah, of course, but the same competition as they had before. So we had to be analyzing this stock closely, and probably we could get like a huge opportunity. How to find that best opportunity, because we had the fundamentals. We know that it's gonna suffer in the short term, and then we had to find the best oversold territory. You know, right now we go even to the weekly chart, and the spot is right there, and the even and we have right here like some sort of a bullish divergence, which is interesting. But in the short term, it's gonna suffer a little bit more. I would say even the monthly chart, wow, it's completely insane. It's completely oversold everywhere. You know, it's completely oversold everywhere. So just in technical analysis is indicating that we have the best opportunity to buy the stock right now. But at the same time, we cannot do that because we know we're gonna have like a couple of quarters and they're gonna be difficult for the company. Even the first, you know, the next 12 months is gonna be insane. If that US tariff continues, even if they increase it or if they don't get an exemption by Trump, they're gonna suffer a lot. You know, Nike is gonna suffer a lot. So we had to be patient in that sense and to find the best opportunity. But then once they get it done correctly, I would say it's a completely buy, because look at, you know, in terms of technical analysis, completely oversold. But we had to find that spot. We are not there yet because this is just the beginning. This is just April the 3rd, you know, and the US tariffs were implemented yesterday. So we had to be patient, you know, in terms of, you know, success. To be successful in the markets, you had to be patient. You had to analyze the technical. You had to use technical analysis and fundamentals at the same time. You had to analyze both. They both should be synchronized. If you have like the stock, you know, in oversold territory, and then we have net income that is positive and that it looks good in the next years, that's a good buy. But right now we don't have that right now with Nike. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you very much. Remember to read the disclaimer again right here, and remember to subscribe to Trader Steve to watch more videos like this, and see you in the next one.